Welcome to Garden E. Now Garden E is a bit of a peculiar garden. It's at the border of the property. It's the roadway and the border. And basically some of the maintenance activities, the main thing is simply to weed along the border. We don't really own much of the border, so we can only go in so much. And basically that's the idea, is we just try to stop the plants, as you can see, from growing into the roadway. I got my hands straight out there. We just try to cut and trim everything that grows over. Now what's unique though, because we try to be eco, we try to harvest things. So we weed whack along the border, but before doing a weed whack along the border, we try to harvest the plants that are growing outwards from the ginger. So you see these beautiful decorative ginger? What they do is they send shoots out along the ground and then they grow here. So when you come here with a pickaxe and you simply pickaxe a little bit around it, you can pull out the clump and now you can plant this beautiful, I think this one is the bird of paradise. See that one in the background? And there's another one, orange one, way in the background there. They're beautiful decorative plants. So, for instance, here, what we would do as a maintenance is have a volunteer harvest and put in plant pots or directly replant. Another maintenance activity is our dear little Buddha. Every now and then the plants grow over the dear little fellow, and then you can't see him anymore. So all we do is just come out with a pruning shears and prune the area around so you can see his smiling face. Now continuing along, now these plants here, I'm going to show you one. They're called thimbleberries. By the way, these big leaves again are monstera. They're in our logo on our website. We love this plant. It's such a pretty leaf. So right here are some of these really nice berries. These are called thimbleberries, and you see this one right here. They're delicious. Really, really good. And these ones are another one that we'll eat directly. Only thing is, the plant grows out into the street, and it has a lot of thorns, so we have to trim it back. But aside from that, they make a really good, the berry is delicious and it's filled, packed with vitamin C. So along here, again, it's, we don't really own the plants on the border, so we're just trimming and weeding it back and maybe harvesting any of the plants that grow into the roadway. This right here though, the Mexican sunflowers, they have this tendency to grow horizontally. I have no idea why they do this, but they do this. And so this is one that we do have to break back. As you can see with the Mexican sunflower, it's really, really easy to break. This is one here, this one's a weed, and we would totally weed that one out. This one is a terrible one. So you can see this is where the bird of paradise is growing in its full splendor, and how it creates a beautiful border. It doesn't flop over as much. It's easy to maintain in relatively small places. So it's an excellent fence plant. Other thing with this garden, the roadway is kind of a little bit part of the garden. And as you can see what we did there, we were having mudslides, so we packed in red cinder to make a very, very good roadway. Final maintenance activity. The final maintenance activity for this garden is simply to weed along this border area here. This can be done with a weed whacker, and basically there's space for about 2 or 3 parking spots. So especially when we have a lot of people on the property, in other words more than 6 cars, this is our extra parking zone, and we kind of graded the road so it's not as slippery, and we've got a nice way to drive up that way. But we definitely want to weed whack down. And last but not least is simply to weed back and cut back all the jungle as it grows into the bus. You need to have airflow around the bus, otherwise it gets moldy inside. So what we like to do is make sure that we always cut back all the jungle and just keep it back. And aside from that, I think that is all the main maintenance activities for the border garden. Oh yeah, aloha.